So over the course of the last few months, we've done quite a bit of fishing and caught quite a few fish. So we thought it'd be time now to show you how to clean and cook these things. We throw back some, but my family really enjoys eating fish. So this video is all the things that you just saw, all the fish that came out of where we just were fishing. We're going to clean them, cook them, and eat them. So we'll be doing a number of these in coming weeks. We just encourage you to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and let's go cook and eat some fish. All right, hey guys, so I've had a few people ask me how I clean fish. So I'm going to try to show you this morning. I've been pretty lucky in my life in that I grew up fishing and hunting and doing all those type of things. My dad was an avid fisherman, and even whenever I was as young as 8 years old, he showed me how to clean fish, or how to fillet fish. There's numerous different ways to clean them. Some people like, especially the smaller fish, to just scale them. I don't really like to eat the skin, so I still fillet them. The first thing you need is a really good sharp fillet knife. I'm going to show you the one that I have been using up until now. Well, no, I won't, because it's not sitting here. But it's just a limber knife, one that bends so that you can really get down. I actually just bought an electric fillet knife, and I've found that, man, it's a real trick. So if you're going to be filleting like I am this morning, a ton of fish, I think I've got 60 plus bluegill and crappie here to fillet, then an electric fillet knife really helps you out because it stays sharp longer, and it really doesn't take nearly as much pressure in order to fillet. So let's get started, and I'll show you a couple of times, then we'll go through it a few times so you can kind of see how I do this. So I'll kind of give you this view, and I'll try to give you a couple of different views as to how this goes. So you're going to get your fish and lay it on there. I've got his belly toward me. It really doesn't matter, but the first thing you do is you want to grab underneath the gill. That gives you your catch, so basically your handle for you to hold on to. Grab that gill, lay him down flat, and then you're going to take your knife, and right behind the gill, if you can see there, about, I don't know, a ½ inch, maybe not even that far, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, you're going to angle down your knife at a 45-degree angle. And you're going to, if you were using a regular knife, of course, you would start sawing, and you would saw down until that you get to where that you can see you're just above the backbone here, or this set of fins. I'll show you here with my fillet knife. So I go down. Once you get down to where you think you are right at the top, you don't want to cut through it, but you're right at the top, then you're going to start rotating your knife to go backwards. Slowly but surely, because you don't want to cut through the backbone. And then you're going to go back like that. You're going to go all the way to the tail, but don't cut all the way through. Flop that over. If you see, we've got a nice fillet here. You've still got some bones in there, but then you're going to get just as close as you can to where that bend is. And your knife, you want your knife to be flat as it can be, and then you're going to just go along and cut that chunk of meat off of the skin so that it leaves the skin behind. No need to hurry, take your time however you need to do it, and then you end up with a nice fillet. Well, as you can see here, it's still got the bones in it, still got some of those rib bones in it. So the next thing you're going to do is to go down behind these rib bones, I'm going to turn it the other way, and slice those off. You want to get as many of them out as you can. You can feel them. You just get your knife right up next to the edge of them and just go around the edge until that you have sliced all those rib bones off. So as you can see, there's my ribs. I'm going to put that in my throwaway, and then there's my nice little chunk, my nice little fillet. So then you flip the fish over, do the same thing on the other side. 45-degree angle, 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch behind where you've got to hold the gill, down to the backbone. Start flipping over. way to the tail but not through. Flip that open. Right against your fillet board, cut that off. Turn this toward you, find those bones, feel them with your knife right there. Get right behind them. There you go, there's the bones, throw those away. There's a nice big bluegill fillet. So I'll try to give you another vantage point here on a different fish so you can kind of maybe see from the top. Alright, hopefully you can see straight down on my cutting board here. Here's my knife. I'm going to get us another fish out here. And we'll do the same thing that I just showed you before. So lay your fish down. And then you're gonna get right here behind his gills, and you can see I'm about 1/8 of an inch back. For me, I'm gonna try to be as close to the kind of the edge of my cutting board so I can get flat. 45-degree dangle down to the backbone, and then you don't even really have to stop. You can just keep going and flip that over. Down to the tail but not through. Flip that open. Closest to the end as you can. And then right along your cutting board, as flat as you can make it, down the side. So there's a fillet. We're going to do both sides at one time. And then I'll cut the bones out and I'll show you that. So we'll lay our fillet over there. Go to the other side. Gill. 1/8 of an inch down, 45 degrees. Down to the backbone, it doesn't take long. Start flipping over. Down the fish, to the tail but not through. Open it up. Close as you can get it. And there's your fillet. So there's our 2 fillets, one for each side. So, of course, you need to get the bones out. I personally like to face it towards me like this. Find those bones, you can feel them with your knife. And then go down behind the ribs. Just a little at a time. And if you really want to be good about it, you can actually save that belly meat, because there's no bones right there. There's your ribs. There's your fillet. Nice big bite of bluegill. Same thing for this one. There we go. So I'm going to do one more and not talk over it so that you can just kind of watch in real time. So there you go. That's basically how to fillet a fish. It's not a perfect task. It takes a while to get good at it. You don't have to have an electric fillet knife like I do. You can use just a standard, Rapala model or whatever fillet knife you can get a hold of. The sharper the better, of course. Be very careful of your digits. Make sure that you don't cut them off. Same thing with the electric knife. But take your time. The smaller the fish get, the harder it is, and the less meat you get out of them. So yet again, another reason to be a conservationist, to not keep fish that are too small. I've actually got a couple here that probably was too small to keep, but when the boys caught them, or I caught them, they were gut hooked, and whenever we took the hook out, we knew that they would die anyway, so we kept them. I'd rather not let them go to waste. So that's how to clean fish. You can pretty much clean most fish that way. After they get to a certain size, large-wise, then it's hard to cut through the rib bones like that. And there are different methods, but for most panfish, bluegill, crappie, sunfish, almost any of the panfish that you'd find, this is the best way to clean them. Even bass up to a certain size, you can get away with doing it this way. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below, and we'll cook these up a little later on. All right, so this is the good part of it, guys. We're gonna take all the bluegill we filleted up this morning and turn them into something that everybody wants to eat. So we start off with, we like here at my house, this is the Louisiana Fish Fry Products Cajun Crispy Fish Fry. So you start out with this, and you want to open it up, get yourself a little bowl big enough to hold the largest fillet that you've got, and dump enough of it to go for a while. You might not want to dump the whole thing in, but about that much. The next thing you need is another bowl that you can take a couple of eggs and just a splash of milk, like you were going to make scrambled eggs, and that's going to be your binder to help the fish stay bound, help the stuff stay on it. So we've got our fish here. Go ahead and just get out a few of your fish. You're going to put them in the egg mixture. Roll them around in there good, get them good and coated. You're going to put them in your Louisiana mixture here. Shake them around just enough to get them good and coated up. And once you see they're good and covered, then I'm just going to lay them over here on a plate until I get them all done. So take them out of the egg mixture, get any of the excess egg off. Roll them around, get all that goodness on them, and then lay them over here. So I'm gonna do the rest of these, and then as soon as I get them all ready to go, I'll take you over to the stove and show you how to heat your grease up. Okay, so we've got all of our fish battered up here. You see in our mix right over here on the plate. And what I've done is take a cast iron skillet, and I've got about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of peanut oil. You can use any oil that you want, but I like peanut oil. And you're going to let that get good and hot. You can test it by taking a little bit of your mix and putting it in there and seeing if it bubbles. So it didn't bubble that time, so we're going to let it heat up for a little bit longer. We'll be right back. All right, so we can see here Elijah and I dropped in a little piece of the batter, and it's fizzling around. You can see that it's nice and hot. So you're going to take each piece of your fish, pick it up. You want to lay it away from you so you don't splatter oil on you. And you can see there it's going to start sizzling. So you just do that one piece at a time. Lay it around through there, and these, depending on how big your fillets are, is how long it'll take these to fry. So it doesn't take them long, these little thin fillets. So by the time that you have everything laid in there from the first batch, once you get the pan full, it'll be just about time to start flipping them over where you started. So we've got a pan full there now. We'll let them go for just a little bit because those little thin bluegill crappie fillets don't take too long. And once you see them starting to brown up a little bit, then take you something and flip them over. Just like that. See, they're getting nice and brown. You don't want them to get overly brown, but just brown enough to be cooked well.
Is there someone else to film? My friend here.
We'll be done in 5 minutes.
Tell him I'll be out in 5 minutes.
You can let them go, and then while that's doing, get you a bowl and put you a piece of paper towel or something in the bottom of it to soak the grease up like you would with bacon. So you can see here it's starting to get pretty brown. You can check it out, see how it's looking. And once it gets to about there, take it out and put it in your bowl. Now as you take these out, they do soak up a little bit of the grease, so you just got to keep an eye level on your grease, on your oil, to make sure it doesn't get too low. And when it gets to where it's starting to go down below a ½ inch, you want to add some oil and give it time to heat everything back up. I think we'll be good to do one more batch in here before we do that. So lay them in there. So we're finishing up the last little bit here, as you can see. We'll take these out once they get nice and golden brown. I've already turned the eye on the stove off because cast iron holds heat real well. So you can turn it off about halfway through this last batch. And there we go. That's a pile of fried bluegill and crappie. And I know if your family's like mine, they'll eat every bite. So that is our take on how to catch and cook and clean bluegill and most panfish. We've got a lot of great content coming up. We just did a trip down to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and all points in between. Did some visiting and fishing across through Kentucky as we traversed the country. So if you enjoyed today's video, please go back and watch some of our other videos, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. It really helps us out as we're trying to get our channel started. And what do they do now, boys? Subscribe and
hit the notification.
Hit the notification bell. So we'll see you guys next week.